A violent surf is crashing into the Texas Gulf Coast as Hurricane Harvey whips closer to landfall. Forecasters expect it to bring at least 20 inches of rain, in some areas much more, enough to turn towns into islands for days.
Brace yourself, prepare for the worst, and be ready to try and get out of town as quick as you can.
Chris Rickers isn't leaving.
I decided to stay to protect my house.
Are you worried about your decision to stay?
A little bit. I'm mainly worried about my kids.
Governor Greg Abbott is pushing everyone to head inland.
You have the power and the ability right now to be able to avoid being stuck into a search and rescue situation if you make the decision to get out of harm's way before it is too late.
Meteorologists expect the storm to be a Category 3 hurricane as it makes land. That would mean winds topping 115 miles per hour.
7 coastal counties from here in Corpus Christi to Galveston Island have ordered mandatory evacuations. Officials say they cannot guarantee rescues for people who stay behind.
This retirement home loaded residents for the ride to Austin.
I would have preferred to hunker down at home, but my concerns are for the people of Corpus Christi and our city.
The National Weather Service says the winds could be life-threatening, but that the greatest threat is from potentially catastrophic flooding. Weijia Zhang, WJZ Eyewitness News.
And our complete coverage continues now with Bob Turk and meteorologist Tim Williams tracking the storm's path. We're going to start over with Bob.
Take a look at radar. Very impressive display. You can see clearly the eye there offshore there. Right now, the center of the eye is around 41 miles southeast or east of Corpus Christi, Texas, right along the coast there. The eye is about, really about 35, 40 miles wide. The hurricane force winds extend around 35 miles from the center. Tropical storm force winds extend way out as far as 140 miles, by the way. Let's zoom in real close. You can take a really close look at that. There it is. There's the center of that storm. You can see that spin, the real dark reds. That's where the worst of the winds are. I think in the next 2 hours, right along the coast, you'll start seeing those hurricane force winds. And when we talk about hurricane force winds, right now the winds are sustained at 125 miles an hour. That would destroy almost every structure, believe it or not, even concrete buildings, with gusts to 155. It's now moving off to the northwest at around 10 miles an hour, continues to head toward the coast. Eventually it will weaken. However, there's good indication it may also go back into the Gulf and actually regenerate into a stronger storm sometime maybe over the weekend or early next week. They're going to have to be dealing with this for many, many days to come, unfortunately. And the models do have it going right in that general area, but not kind of staying there. Tim will tell you why we don't expect it to move anywhere. Tim?
As Bob mentioned, this system is going to linger and meander for a while, and that is a good word, meandering. There is no system dominant enough to pick this storm up and lift it away from that region. So there is a little steering current. So that is the problem. There's nothing else that could just push it along. Now, because of that, it will likely stall in the area it's sitting, and the life-threatening floods could come by way of maybe 2 feet of rain, maybe even more in some parts of the area, and storm surge of up to about 12 feet estimated down in parts of Corpus Christi. That's from the water being pushed in from the storm as it makes its way onto land. We're looking at potentially 20.3 inches of rain in San Antonio. These are all projections. 20.1 or 21.8 inches of rain in Houston. Almost 2 feet of rain down in Corpus Christi as well. And of course, it lessens as you start to move out away. But this is going to be a system that plays out over the next several days. We'll continue to keep you posted. Mary, back over to you.
Tim and Bob, thank you both. Stay with WJZ for the latest on Hurricane Harvey. We will continue to track the powerful storm's path, bring you the very latest when it makes landfall.